fly like a condor. Eyes on me when I walk through the door. Man, I wish I bought a couple more. Cause I really love my city. It was worth every penny. If it were at my show, then I know they gon' tip me. Think I might add a couple patches. If you think it's ugly, you capping. Now my whole outfit matching. Never going out of fashion.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Talking Friars, Padres D-backs reaction. Padres, they dropped 2 out of 3. They win the series finale, though, and on to Dodger Stadium they are. Just as I was about to go live, I saw a notification come down from Robert Murray that division rival San Francisco Giants, they have just made a huge acquisition. They are acquiring Rafael Devers. This is not a joke. It's not a joke because I'm literally leading off the show with it. I was not planning on this, obviously, but this is a huge deal because Devers is now the face of their franchise. Willie Adames, like, it's a significant signing for them, but that's not the talent of Rafael Devers. So obviously Devers wasn't happy with everything that happened there with the Red Sox and wanted to be at third base. Then they moved him and said, lose your glove, be at DH. And then they wanted him to go play first when Casas got hurt. And the relationship there just wasn't great. So probably both sides are happy that this is happening. I don't know about Red Sox fans. They're probably pissed. But from the Padres viewpoint here, Devers going to the Giants, like, that's tough. That makes their lineup tougher. And the Giants are already ahead of the Padres anyway in the standings. And I don't know how consistent the Giants are going to be. They're playing on Sunday Night Baseball tonight here in a little bit against the Dodgers, so that's going to be pretty much all the conversation is Devers there. That's crazy that happened just before Sunday Night Baseball. But yeah, the Giants, they're a couple games ahead of us. In terms of rosters, like, there's some nasty pitchers on the Giants, and they could have health go their way, and that could be an issue for the Padres, but at the end of the day, I still think the Padres are a playoff team, so I don't look at this Devers move and be like, "Oh, now the Giants are going to take our playoff spot." But that obviously makes them better. Jordan Hicks and Kyle Harrison are going to the Red Sox, but that's not like Camilo Duvall going to the Red Sox, right? So, like, they still got some nasty guys there on the Giants. So it does make the NL West very, very interesting. Very interesting. I will say that. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is good. I don't know about you guys. Like, let me know if the Wi-Fi is good, because on my side, it's saying that there's only one bar. So hopefully it's not terrible and you can hear me. Yeah, please let me know in the comments before I continue. Brady says since Devers got the contract, he became Anthony Rendon. I wouldn't go to that level. Like, that's a lot, but he got money, which deserved. Like, the guy rakes, and he's not the best defensive third baseman. They went and signed Alex Bregman. Like, if I would have gotten paid, I'm already paid, I would have just, been the team player, but there are egos involved. I'm not seeing anyone in the chat saying that there's a problem, so I'm just going to continue as if there is no problem. So Padres, today's game, it was great to stretch that lead out to 8-2, because it was going into a similar situation there late where, oh, who are they going to go to? What is this going to look like? I assume it would have been Morahone, Estrada, Adam, and they just would have avoided going to Robert Suarez today, because Suarez threw, I think, 26 pitches yesterday. Let me double check that. It was pretty close to 30. 25. He threw 25 yesterday. Adam threw 16. Estrada threw 19. So I was like, all right, how are they going to do this? But then, you open up the lead big enough where all you have to do is throw Sean Reynolds out there. And Adrian Morahone was nasty today. 3 punch-outs in that inning. Allowed that one hit, but got a 2.83 ERA. And this is one of the things, I feel like this should be talked about more with him. Just the battle that he's had with himself and just the Padres sticking with him. The money they invested in him. But there were times there where he kept getting hurt, and they tried it as a starter. They tried it. And then it was like, all right, we got to move this guy to the bullpen. Let's try to keep him healthy. And then it still wasn't working out. But these last couple of years, it has. And so that makes me happy. It's great for the Padres organization. So well done from Adrian Morjon. Well done from Nick Pivetta. 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Now, Yanio Suarez demolished that ball, 437 feet, but 9 punchies for Pivetta, just 1 walk, hitting his spots. Did he get some strike calls? Yes. Did he lose some strike calls? Yes, as well. The home plate umpire today, Andy Fletcher, was terrible. I don't know what that ump scorecard is going to look like because that is a little bit different than the Padres TV broadcast and then the MLB.com, K Zone. That's different from the Padres broadcast. So I don't really know what it's going to look like. But there were some pitches today where it's like, how is that a ball and how is that a strike? Yeah, like terrible. Gavin Sheets up at the plate, and there's a pitch that's inches, inside. It's not like it was a breaking ball that, it started over the plate and then went in. No, this ball was never over the plate. And Andy Fletcher was on the side that the pitch was. He wasn't on the opposite side, and it was called a ball. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It was obvious that that was a ball. So yeah, hopefully we don't get too many more of the Andy Fletcher home plate umpire games because that guy stinks. But Padres, they still were able to win this game. Jackson Merrill goes on the IL yesterday with the concussion, or he went on the IL today, sorry. He exited late in yesterday's game, where I was excited. Padres, they take the lead, and then the Merrill thing happens, and it's like, so what? So much for being excited about the Padres winning that game, and then they don't win the game either with Robert Suarez there. Just meatballs yesterday. That's what that was. It was, yeah, he has velocity, but velocity isn't good enough now. These batters, they face velocity every single night. And so if you're just going to throw meatballs like that, you're going to get pounded. And he did. It was just knock after knock after knock. If you go back and watch the highlights, my goodness, it looked like batting practice. Then there was that ball down the line, obviously, like the one spot you don't want them to hit it. It's hit there. And then the ball on the infield that won the game, Arise throws it home. The throw should have been better, should have been lower. Diaz, I feel like, though, could have got the tag down a little bit quicker. Yeah, just one of those games. If the Padres, they don't host a playoff series, or hopefully they don't. I think they will make the playoffs, but let's say they don't. You'll look back. That will be one of those games for sure that you would look back at. Like, you had a 4-run lead with your closer on the mound, and you don't win that game. Come on, what are we doing, right? So, entering today, I think in their last 10, they were 3-7. So, not the best. I know they're playing some good teams here. D-backs, Dodgers, obviously. They got the Dodgers again coming up. But I've seen a lot about the lineup and the talk about the lineup and changing the lineup around, and maybe that'll work, right? But for me, it's like you can change some guys in the order, but I feel like more that's bottom half of the order, not top half of the order. Bottom half, you want to move some guys around, okay. But what are you going to do at the top of the order? Like, your core players for this year's team, your best players, and I'm including Merrill in this, let's say he's healthy, it's these guys. It's Merrill, it's Tatis, it's Manny, it's Arise. Bogart's with the contract. Like, these guys have to play better. And guess what? When Manny is hitting, does that bode well for the team? Yeah. Xander smacked the ball today. Tatis, what a game he had today. Like, that's not a Crony with a home run. It's not a coincidence when your bigger players come through, you win baseball games for the most part. I know some pitchers can crumble and you still don't win, but like that's part of the encouraging thing here. I know the Padres lost this series, but last 2 games to combine for 15 runs, that's great. And the 2 starters, by the way, were Gallen and Kelly. 2 of the D-backs, if not the best pitchers on the D-backs. So, like Tatis, a 4-for-5 game today, 3 runs scored. This D-back series, it's been more encouraging from him. Yesterday, 2-hit game, scored 2 runs, drove in 2. So, what I'm seeing from him, like, what was encouraging today was that ball, it was outside the zone, but hit it over, I think, jumping Marte at second base, gets it over his glove there. Maybe it was Perdomo, I forget. No, Perdomo, I think it was at short. But gets it over the second baseman's head. And it's just little things like that where he's not trying to pull it, not trying to do too much. I'm seeing that, some good baseball there, good hitting from Tatis there. What I also loved that Schild is probably going to bring up in his post game was the base running, where I mean, if you go look again, if you weren't watching this game, go look back. He had a ball that was a single, like it was hit up the middle, and he turns it into a double, sprints in, slides into second base, and beats it. Then he steals third base and then scores. I think on the sacrifice ground out. Like that's winning baseball right there. That is putting the team on your back, and that was obviously not when it was a blowout. That was when it was closer. So that's winning baseball. And like the Padres, they are talented enough to go deep into the postseason with some, additions probably on the pitching side. You'd like a left field bat, but I'm talking about the core, right? Do they have the core talent? There are other teams in baseball that they probably don't have the core talent. Like the Giants are one of those teams. Devers, we'll see, but um, the Giants, I feel like they don't have that core to go deep. Dodgers, they have it. Obviously, we know that. There are teams that have that core to go deep, and then it's just question marks around the rest. The Padres, I feel like, have that. Those guys got to produce, though. That's the thing. And recently, they haven't been doing a good enough job of that. But over this D-back series, it has been better. So hopefully, we're getting on that, getting back on that ride where we're going up instead of, continuing to go down on the mountain, if you will. So I'm trying to stay encouraged going into this Dodger series. It is interesting that the schedule makers, they have, I don't know if the Dodgers were involved in this or the Padres are involved in their game time, that day game, but the Padres didn't get 4 games against the Dodgers at home. They got 3. And the last one was a day game, not a night game. And then the Dodgers here, they get 4 games against the Padres, all of them night games. And like the Dodgers and the Padres were both off on Thursday. So like if I'm the Padres, I want that to be a night game, not a day game. But I'm sure the people like inside would be like, no, actually, we want that to be a day game because we want to get to Arizona quicker and we can enjoy like having a full night's sleep for like clubhouse guys and medical staff and everyone that's involved in it. It's not just about the players and the coaches. So they're probably like, nah, we're good with the day game there just to get out. But and that was like the family road trip because it's Arizona, LA, so it's pretty close. So that's cool what they're doing there. But I thought that was interesting to note. Um, but yeah, so today Crony with that home run, that was encouraging. What a long at bat! Like a long at bat results in that home run. Earlier in the at bat, he fouls that ball off his foot. Obviously, he's in pain, and that I I feel like this is like too said too much or too cliche, whatever. The hockey player in him bounces back and hits the homer, but that's kind of what it was, like showing off that toughness. And he golfed that out on U.S. Open Sunday, so pretty in theme there for what's going on today. Um, Brady in the chat says Mike Schild is rumored to be having an affair with Campy, which is why he wasn't demoted to AAA. Yeah, that's interesting. Why Campy is still on the roster when they're not giving him playing time? Wouldn't you want him to just go rake in AAA and then see if you can trade him? Why would you keep him on the big league roster when you're not giving him playing time? And he has said like it's not about Campy, it's more about the other guys we have, and there's just not much opportunities there right now for him. All right, then go put him in El Paso. Like, why is he on the roster? You can't use someone else. You can't use another bat. You can't use speed, another outfielder. So you don't have to be putting Gavin Sheets out there all the time. I thought that they would try to like maybe put Campy there and left. He's been playing a little bit of first, I think, before games like live BP and stuff. I guess. I think I saw Kevin or taking some reps at first base. Kevin Acey, I think, wrote about that, but it hasn't been happening in the game. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I'm not like, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here advocating to see Campy in there every day. Like I want Gavin Sheets in there every day. I know there's fans that are going to be like, well, I'm not a big fan of Arise, so let's put Campy in there and see what happens. But I still have faith in Arise. Like Arise is someone that you put in there every day still. Now we'll see. He did Did he stay in the game at first base? I forget if he stayed in the game at first base. But he did exit after. Is hitting the ball the right way to say it? Like, the bat hit the ball, but he wasn't trying to swing, and it was like a one-hand swing, very uncomfortable, and it seemed like he hurt his left hand, and he was getting looked at. Mark Rogo, the head trainer, was, looking at him in the dugout, so we'll see what happens there with that. But yeah, the Padres, they've been a little bit banged up. Merrill obviously going on the IL with the concussion. That's, the second concussion IL, obviously a rise. That was in Houston earlier this year, and then Merrill going into the bag. He got hit pretty hard. Like, obviously Marte didn't mean to do it. He immediately flagged down the Padres and, get the heck out, get out of here, right? Get out to second to check on Merrill. But yeah, that looked scary because Merrill, it was just one of those things where it looked like he didn't totally know where he was. And that's not good. That's not good at all. When you have to, I don't remember the last time I've seen this. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like, it's been a long time. I can't even tell you the last time when all three Padres trainers, Ricky, Ben, and Mark, they were all out there with Jackson Merrill. And then Schilt was obviously out there, the base coaches. They were all out there. Usually it's 1, 2, maybe go out there, but all three of them to be out there. Now, maybe they didn't have anything to do, so yeah, they just all go out there so they all hear what Merrill's telling them, and it's not, relayed and then something gets miscommunicated. But yeah, that just seeing that, maybe people didn't pick up on that, but just seeing that was a little bit concerning. So we'll see. We'll see. Who was that guy that got called up today? I'm forgetting his name for some reason. Trenton Brooks has an OPS over 1,000 with El Paso. Has been playing some left, playing some first. Like, an OPS over 1,000, usually that's impressive, but it's also El Paso. So I'm not like, oh man, this guy, put him in the lineup every day. Let's go. If Campy's not getting at bats, are they just going to have Trenton Brooks go get at bats? So I am a little bit skeptical of like how many at bats he's going to get, but he has been playing some left field. Campy hasn't been playing left or taking reps in left. All I've seen is that he's been taking reps at first. And I think catching some bullpens. So maybe he does get some more at bats, but they do have Tyler Wade that they play out there. They have Gavin Sheets they play out there. So we'll see. Some injury updates real quick. We got Jason Hayward out on a rehab assignment. He is with AAA El Paso. And Kevin Acee wrote in the UT today in his Padres Daily, if Jason Hayward's bat does not show life in the hitter-friendly Pacific Coast League, he might not make it back to the majors with the club. The Padres continue to search the trade market for a right-handed hitter who can help them, preferably one that can play left field, which, not a surprise. Yeah, they should be looking to acquire a left fielder because they don't have a great left fielder. I shouldn't say Jerks and Profar is missed because, like, if we had him, he'd be, let's say it's the same thing that happened. He wouldn't even be playing anyway. He wouldn't be eligible to be played because he's suspended. But yeah, like the Profar production, I'll say it that way, that is missed for sure. So there's the Hayward update there. He's played a few games, I think. His first game in left field is scheduled for Tuesday, I want to say, in El Paso. By the way, entering yesterday's game, Padres' worst offense in the last 26 games, averaging 3.23 runs a game. That's last. Average 218, that's last. On base percentage 283, that's last. Slugging 330, that's last. OPS 613, that's last. Homers a game 0.69, 28. And the Pirates and Royals are after them. So that was before they combined for 15 runs. So maybe it was, maybe we can thank Kevin for putting that out there and inspiring the guys to go score a bunch of runs. But yes, I do want to be encouraged by these last couple of games, the runs that they've scored. Manny hitting some balls hard, Crony homering, Bogart's hitting that ball hard down the left field line. Tatis, I mean, it seems like he's getting closer to being locked in. And that's great, obviously, with Merrill. It's great if Merrill was here anyway, but especially with Merrill going out, like you want to have, you need guys to step up. So that's great. Um, yeah, yesterday sucked. 4-run lead and you lose that game. What was that game? Was it the Giants series where they had a 3-run lead and lost that? You don't want to go back to these games at the end of the year because you missed the playoffs by a couple of games and be like, oh man, that's why right there. Game 1 was boring. One, it was on Apple TV. I don't know if anyone had this happen to them either, but I tried to turn that game on and it said it was in a rain delay, which is impossible because the game's at Chase Field in Arizona. But yeah, I turned it on and it says that. So wasn't able to watch it on the big TV, but I did find a way to watch a little bit of it, like 5th inning on. But yeah, that was a boring game. Kolek got hit around, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, walked a couple of guys, a couple of homers he allowed, just obviously pitches over the middle. But then the bullpen, no runs allowed there. Reynolds, Peralta, Morgan. You were hoping that would allow for, guys to be rested and that lead to a win the next day, which, like that, those guys in the bullpen, they did their jobs there, but obviously some guys did not at the end there. And the Padres played a good game for, what did Manny say? Like 8 2/3 or 8 innings there, 8.5 innings. And then, yeah, because like Berger kept them in the game. Okay, 5 innings, 3 runs. Matsui, no runs. Estrada, no runs. Adam, no runs. And then Suarez got 1 out and gave up 5 earned runs. Team game. You can have everyone except one person, perform, and you end up losing that game. Just, it's how it is. Sometimes baseball, it is really brutal. Really brutal. This sucked to lose this series. Like, they should have won this series, no doubt. Let's say, okay, give the D-backs game 1, like Padres offense wasn't doing anything, okay. But game 2 should have won that, had the lead in the 9th, and then today you win that game in, blowout fashion, 8-2. That's a series win right there. So, yeah, disappointing. Really disappointing. There's encouraging stuff, but, the series, if you look at the series, you got to be disappointed, I think. The update on Michael King is essentially like there is no update. Again, I tried to see if there was another update, but they're just waiting. Darvish, by the way, he threw a simulated game, and Kevin wrote in his Padres Daily today. Let me pull up the full update. But it was essentially like, yeah, maybe one more sim game that'll have live BP, whatever you want to call it, and then rehab assignment. Which, there you go. They'll be trying it again. Let me find this here. Darvish update. Here it is. Darvish threw 18 pitches in a simulated inning yesterday morning at the team's complex in Peoria. He reached 94 with his fastball while facing 4 batters, striking out 1, walking 1 in his first time facing batters in a month. It is likely Darvish does at least one more simulated game to get stretched out further before a rehab start. How he feels today will help determine the next step, but Schilt hinted at as close to a timeline as has been provided in the past month. Asked if Darvish could return before the All-Star break, July. Schilt said the All-Star break July 13th. Schilt said, where we're trending now, it's a little early to predict, but it's plus or minus on either side of it. So around the All-Star break is what I'm getting there from Schilt. Darvish obviously shut down with the elbow discomfort in the middle of spring training, worked his way back to make the rehab start May 14th, but then felt tightness in his elbow afterwards. So there you have it there. And the Michael King update is there is no update, really. They got to wait. Like, King isn't throwing. So, don't know if he's returning this year. I mean, I think we got to be more optimistic about Darvish returning than King. And that would have been crazy for us to say when that Atlanta series happened, right? Because we were like, oh, okay, he'll miss a start, couple of starts, whatever. Slept on his shoulder, wrong, like Atlanta hotels, stupid Atlanta hotels, whatever. But then Darvish starts working his way back. Because at that time, remember, Darvish was supposed to join the team, then he didn't join the team, and there was like, okay, what's happening with Darvish? Now he's starting to work his way back again. With King, we're now in that spot where we're like, all right, what's happening here. It seems like they're still evaluating, like seeing is there a way to get back quicker? Is there something they can do? And right now it seems like King's doing a lot of resting and not throwing. And then obviously it's going to take him time to build up to start, to throw. You don't want to be, banged for the year. So, yeah, not great. So I would say going into the trade deadline, they're going to be looking for left field. They're going to be looking for starting pitching. Maybe another bat, but they do keep bringing up Campy or bringing up Brooks. There's these guys that they bring up, and you would think okay, are they going to give them a shot or not? And it's really not. But I am interested in seeing does this Brooks guy, does he end up playing a little bit? All right, I'm going to get to the chat here in a little bit, but just wanted to shout out the sponsors of this show. Gaglio and Bros Famous Cheesesteaks and Garlic Fries. Their main location is on Friars Road. Check them out. They're at Petco Park as well, section 124 and 319. So down the third baseline and in the upper deck. They've got cheesesteak fries, cheesesteaks, garlic fries. They're inside Snapdragon Stadium as well. SDFC, they got that win against Minnesota yesterday. That was wild. I don't know if anyone saw that, but those highlights, man. Dreyer's goal, got Oloski scoring a couple of times. The first goal that they gave up, yikes, big yikes. But when is SDFC's next home match? The 25th. So not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. No. Sorry, that's not at home. That's at Vancouver. My bad. When is their next one? It's a while. Because we've got the Gold Cup going on now. Luca De La Torre is playing for the U.S. We're playing right now, actually. Last time I saw they were up 3-0. Dang, their next home match isn't until July 5th against Houston. They've got Vancouver on the June 25th, Dallas on June 28th. All right. San Diego Wave, they play Sunday at home against Washington Spirit, so go check them out. JD's third, I will get to that super chat here in a second. Thank you. Freestyle Cut and Stitch, did want to tell you about them. They're on Instagram at Freestyle Cut and Stitch. They got their website as well. Click the link in the description for that. 10% off any future order. Code Talking Friars. They're the custom basketball jersey company. You see Padres players wearing them all the time. They love them. Show off your personality. It's a lot cheaper than, Padres store jerseys. So you want to stand out a little bit and, you like the style of it, go check them out. And if you want customization, maybe it's maybe a design that they haven't thought of, hit them up and they'll try their best to make that happen for you. So there's that. If you're more of a shirt guy, Breaking Tea, they've got Padres and Aztecs shirts and sweatshirts. You can click the link in the description for that. They do have some sales that go on at least once a month. I did see that they were having a 15% off sale during the college baseball World Series, which is going on. So you can look that up and see if they have a code, because I'm not seeing it right now. If they have a code. Free shipping right now on orders of $100 or more. Click the link in the description. Maybe some gifts. Buy a few shirts, 4 shirts, get free shipping. They've got Merrill, a bunch of Merrill Madness, Fernando, a lot of Fernando graphic tees that they have there. Holy Sheets, they do have that shirt. So check them out. And then SeatGeek, same code as Freestyle Cut and Stitch. Code Talking Friars for $20 off your first order when you sign up with your email. All right. Let's get to the chat. Starting off with JD's third. Devers traded to the Red Sox. From the Red Sox to the Giants. Thoughts on that? I gave him a little bit at the top of the show. I think that it makes the Giants lineup better, obviously. It makes them a better team. But I do wonder the fit. Are they going to put him at third base? They have Matt Chapman. So I guess not. Are they just going to DH him? Is Devers okay with just DHing? Is he just hey, I'll take on any role. I'm happy to get out of Boston. You got me out of Boston. got me out of, being under Craig Breslow. I think Devers will like this because guess what? I know he's going to another former player, but it seems like it's two different things. Like Posey is a different GM, Pobo, whatever you want to say, than Craig Breslow. Breslow was a lot, I feel like, about the numbers and wasn't really one of the guys. Where Posey, I feel like, could be a little bit different there. So Devers probably respects Posey and is probably happy to just get out of Boston. Now, Matt Chapman was just placed on the IL, I think when was that? Last Tuesday. So Devers could just go play third. But when he's back, yeah, you put him in that lineup. You have him bat like third instead of Heliot Ramos, or maybe, put him fourth instead of Dom Smith there. You have Matt Chapman. You could have a lineup of Jung-Hoo Lee, Willie Adames, Rafael Devers, and Matt Chapman to start things off. And then you have, Heliot Ramos, Dom Smith. Like, it just lengthens out that order and gives them some more flexibility. What do they want to do with Wilmer Flores? If Devers, in fact, does DH, Flores could be a good bat for them off the bench. It makes them better, but as I said earlier, more at the beginning of the show, because it came down like the minute that I was going live, so it was great timing. As I said there, like, I don't think they have the core to go on a deep run, where I think the Padres, they have the core to go on the deep run. It's just whether or not they're going to be able to perform when it matters the most. When they have a lead against a good team in a series, are they going to be able to hold on to that lead and go win that series and then win the next one? Or are they going to go 24 innings without scoring against some good teams? What can they do in those situations where they face a bullpen game and it's a bunch of different arms and it's a bunch of different guys that they have to know and have to study? So we'll see. All right, Brando says, holy crap, Preller has to make some trades now. The Giants getting Devers is big time. Well, he was going to have to make some deals regardless. Like, the Padres, they do need, as I just said, they have the core, but you want some other stuff. Left field bat. I don't know about another bat, but definitely left field. You want starting pitching. We'll see about relief. But, yeah, like, starting pitching and left field are the ones that are immediately on my mind right now and are definitely on Preller's mind. The Devers move shouldn't influence what Preller's doing. Like, the Padres, go about it how you're going to go about it. Them acquiring Devers, I don't think that makes them a World Series contending team. It makes them better for sure, but I still like the Padres. And by the way, guys, it's June 15th. The trade deadline's still a month and a half away. I just want to put that out there. So, maybe the Padres will make a move tonight or tomorrow. Who knows? Arise, remember that move was made pretty early. But those were some unique circumstances with, the Marlins knowing that they weren't going to be in it. Padres gave them what they wanted, and there you go. But, yeah, maybe don't expect moves to be happening right now. Brando says Merrill gets paid, then gets hurt twice. Well, that's not his fault. Like, let's not act like this is his fault. Sam asked, why is AJ just sitting around watching everyone else make moves? Has he forgotten that he used to be the best deal-making GM in like ever? I guarantee you he's not just sitting around. Just because moves aren't being made doesn't mean stuff isn't happening. Like, he could be having, a bunch of conversations with teams about who to acquire. Sometimes those things take time. Sometimes teams maybe like an idea that Preller would, put up there on the table, but that team wants to wait to see what their team looks like. Because what if their team, they think, we're not going to be contending, but then what if they go on a run and then it's like, oh no, let's go buy, and then that moves off the table. Like, these teams, again, like Arise was different. That's a unique circumstance. These teams, you want to wait. Wait as long as you can because you get more time to evaluate. There's probably GMs in baseball that would want that trade deadline to be moved back even further so that they have even more time to evaluate their team. Because with how it's at right now, end of July, You've got teams, there's so many teams that are in the playoff picture, and these GMs probably would sell off more pieces if they had a little bit more time. So my point there is just like, he's not just sitting around. I guarantee you, he's not just sitting around. And there's this thing called the draft that's coming up, and we know that AJ's huge in that, and that's huge for the Padres organization. And so the draft is coming up in July as well. So the draft is before the trade deadline. So the focus is on the draft. I'm not saying you can't focus on this as well, and this should be more important, obviously, but there is going to be focus on the draft and the trade deadline. And the main focus is going to be the draft, especially as it comes closer, and then they shift their focus to the trade deadline. I'm just telling you how it is. And that's based on, public comments that have been made. Tatis seems to slightly change his stance at bat. I didn't notice that today, but I also wasn't like at my laptop watching every single Tatis pitch and like comparing from, an earlier at bat in the season. But he was joking. Like, also something, and maybe this is, funny to even make the comment about, but what was also encouraging was after the game, his interview with Donna Mudd, the smile was there. He was joking around. He wasn't just, straight answers. He was joking around. They asked him about, the triples and using his leg. And he's like, yeah, trying to get that OPS up, making the jokes there. So it seems like his spirits are getting better, which is great. Yep, great game today. Still lost 2 out of 3. So overall, it makes the series disappointing. Brady says, what if we give Campy, Salas, and Mayfield for Devers? Well, 1, it can't happen. He's already on the Giants. And 2, I wouldn't do that. You know how much salary you're adding there? And you're giving up 2 of your top prospects? Like, no. And anyway, it can't happen anyway. Vikings on top says, at least they are scoring runs now. That's what it takes to win. Once they get you and King back and the pitching improves, they will be just fine. But here's the thing. When are we getting Michael King back? That's a question mark. Don't know. Don't know when we're getting Michael King back. I'm pretty sure social media is going off right now with this Devers trade. Let's see. Oh, that's not the full trade. Okay, so I'm seeing Robert Murray here saying a full trade. The Giants acquiring Devers from the Red Sox for Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, James Tibbs, and Jose Bayo. I don't know who all those guys are, but I've heard of Jordan Hicks, obviously. I've heard of Kyle Harrison. Like, that's talent for the Red Sox, but Red Sox fans they got to be pissed. Because it shouldn't have ended up in this place anyway. If you're the Red Sox, you had to communicate better with Devers about what was going to be happening. And be upfront about, hey, we're interested in Bregman. We're interested in Arenado. So if we get them, just be prepared to be moving. And I know we asked you to DH, but like, things can happen. We paid you. Can you please go over to first base? Like, it makes more sense for the team to continue and have a lineup and have all of our guys in the lineup for you to go over and, play some first base. Like, they should have done a better job, in my opinion, of communicating this. And it seems like they dropped the ball on it, and Devers wasn't happy. But if you're the Red Sox, now you cleared a bunch of salary and a guy that didn't seem like really wanted to be there. And so now what does that mean? What's going to happen in the future there in Boston? I don't know how much money the Red Sox the Red Sox are eating up on this. Are the Giants taking all of it? And also the Giants, like, this is them, how they weren't able to sign free agents. Players weren't going there, whether it be Harper, or Stanton, or Judge. Well, Stanton was a trade, but I remember him being mentioned in that. They weren't going to the Giants. So they had to overpay for Adames. And how many big stars were they going to get? And so for them, you're like, I don't know how many stars we're going to get. Let's go trade for someone then. Sure, we'll have to give up talent, but this is us getting a star. It can make our offense better. Let's go do it. We have them long term. Let's go do it. So, I'm not happy about it because it's the Giants, but good for the Giants for realizing that and going and doing that. But it does, it makes, the NL West, in my opinion, and I know I'm biased, but already the most interesting division in baseball, the most watch. Is that a thing? The most, the most, must watch division in baseball. And it just makes that even more so with Devers coming to the Giants. All right. Oh, dang. The Giants are playing the Red Sox next week. Is that true? Really? I didn't know that. Yeah. Wow. Are they playing at Boston? No. In San Francisco. If it was in Boston, that would have been even more. That would have been must watch. Really? Someone in here is calling Merrill soft? Okay. I'd like to see you go out there and get tagged like that in the head. It's not, and the head is something that you can't like control. You know, if you get hurt in the ankle or something, your leg or your hamstring strain, something, maybe you could fight through it a little bit. But with your head, like, no, this is not this is not where you call a player soft. Like, come on. Will Padre fans still stand with the team if it starts to sink or abandon the team? What? No, like we were with the Padres in 2018. Like, come on, we're not going anywhere. I'm speaking for myself. And they can't abandon the team. Look at the contracts on the team. Come on. All right, so we got the Dodgers up next. Dylan Cease, I believe, is game one. That's going to be interesting. Coming off a good outing, maybe it was the Dodgers, that being the opponent, and what happened last year, and just being more locked in. I don't know. But right now, the probable starters Monday, 7:10, Cease against Ben Kasparius. Vasquez on Tuesday, no starter named for the Dodgers. Kolek on Wednesday. Thursday, Yamamoto, no starter for us as of now. But yeah, 4 games there. And then come back home, no day off, face the Royals, who are under 500, which that's a little surprising coming off of last year. But it's going to be interesting. There was encouraging things this weekend, but results-based business, yeah, disappointing. Disappointing. Should have won. Should have won this series. Should have won yesterday for sure. But it's a team game, and all it takes is one guy just not having it. So should be really interesting coming up though at Dodger Stadium. Stay safe if you're going. Don't need you getting killed.